Hello everybody, Joshino here, and today I'm going to be talking about Fallout 4, before it falls out of favour, and generally it's just been the game I've been playing since I've just basically finished moving house and packing and getting things ready and things like that, and I haven't really had that much time, so I sat down and when I had my free time, Fallout 4 had just released and I thought, let's do it, let's play some Fallout 4. Anyway, I thought I'd just go over a few of my first opinions and my thoughts on the game so far. And I can't really talk about it without any spoilers, so if you don't want anything spoiled about the game, turn off now and probably just close your or you could close your eyes and plug your ears and let the video just play. But there wouldn't be much point in that, would there? No. Anyway, in general, I'm having a lot of fun with the game. I think it's a positive experience. It's definitely not a step back for the Fallout series. Things have changed though, and personally there are quite a few things that need to be tweaked, to be honest. For example, the inventory system is kind of pants. I mean, the Pip-Boy is nice visually. In Fallout 4 they've introduced a new building system. I really couldn't be bothered to make a proper settlement, but in the main storyline you're basically part of this organisation called the Minutemen, trying to reunite the whole of Boston, or well, they call it the Commonwealth, but I don't know when it became that. And if you've played Fallout Shelter on the tablet, it's almost like Fallout Shelter, apart from it's above ground and you're managing the settlements on like a 3D basis rather than a 2D side-scrolling sort of thing. But anyway, to build certain structures in the game, you have to pick up a lot of this junk, and each piece of junk has certain elements to it. You basically break down the junk to craft buildings and weapons and weapon attachments, which is another good addition that they've added to the game, which was highly modded into the old Fallout 3 and New Vegas. There were lots of mods that added weapon attachments, but now they're actually part of the game, which is really nice. It's a nice touch. But anyway, that's out of the way. That's something that's new building system. The feeling that the Fallout universe has and the charm really isn't lost on this game. In some ways it's sort of enhanced. I think the sort of not cartoony graphics but stylized graphics sort of complement the Fallout system, where it was sort of like the late 50s chic with some sort of like, it's almost like steampunk, but I suppose 1950s punk. I don't know what you call that era, the post-World War punk. That sounds terrible. However, the graphics do look dated. You can tell it's still on the Skyrim engine. It's not too much of a step up from Skyrim, but it is a lot more. It's basically a polished version of Skyrim. If you have some of the enhancing mods in Skyrim, you might be accustomed to how the game looks in Fallout 4, perhaps. It's nothing to write home about, and to be honest, I kind of wish they'd have tried to transition to the next engine. But I think in the past, I think the Fallout 3 game came out quite a lot longer after Oblivion, and at the time that had the same problem. It was still on quite an old engine. However, the shooter mechanics have been massively, and I mean massively, improved since Fallout 3. You can hip fire and play around with the guns much easier, and if you're an FPS player, then you'd be able to transition quite easily into the game, although some moments do require you to use the VAT system, which is a system in the Fallout games where it slows down time and you select certain body parts to fire at, and you can cripple enemies or daze them depending on where you hit them. But now what's changed from Fallout 3 is that the VAT system, instead of completely stopping time, it slows down time, so you have a sort of element of, I need to hurry up and get everything into this VAT system, and it gives a bit of pressure. I've been playing on, I don't know whether it's I don't know what it's called, second hardest difficulty, and I found it really difficult actually. I'm even finding it quite difficult to take on one super mutant. I'll have to really just run away, keep firing at them, just try and wear them down. And to be honest, I like that. I like to have a bit of a challenge, and I like the fact that it's forcing me to sort of creep around a bit, and the AI can get stuck like in any other of the series and any using the engine, although it seems a bit better than it was. However, I have been losing my companions on like towers and things, and then they just eventually teleport to you. The game is also hella glitchy. There's loads of overlapping textures where you can see underneath, and sometimes, like I found in the game, I just went to go open a door up, and it's on the top of a tower building, and instead of like opening the door wouldn't open. I was like trying to open the door, so I was like moving towards the door a bit further, and then suddenly I just slipped through and inside the mesh of the building, and it just fell to my doom. And that wasn't cool, but to be honest, I think it's sort of expected now about a Fallout game being a bit buggy when they first come out, or the Skyrim game. I remember when Skyrim first came out, on certain graphics cards, and my graphics card, on the initial cart sequence when they take you to be executed, the horse would suddenly fly off into the air and gravity would seem to stop existing. And to be fair to it, the little glitches and things, sometimes enemies flying ridiculously far, the physics just going a bit crazy, it's not a massive thing. I suppose if you are really into your story and your role playing and like to immerse yourself, it could break the immersion. But for me, I'm kind of accustomed to it, and in some ways it's quite funny at times. But I have got into the habit of quick saving a lot. Like every little thing I do, I quick save. Story wise, without trying to spoil too much, there are to the point where I am now, I think I've probably done about 5 of the main mission quests. It's getting quite repetitive going, and basically it's like, go set up this settlement over here, go set this settlement over there, and I've done some side quests, and the side quests were a lot more interesting. One where the robots were taking care of some sort of botany plant, and they wanted me to go and deradiate the water, and that was quite interesting because I had to, instead of having to just go kill a load of enemies and set up a settlement, I had something different to do, basically, and it was an interesting setting. Also, I'm not 100% sure about the storyline, because I did say there'd be spoilers, but something happens to your spouse to begin with, and I chose a woman. I thought I'd go as a woman this time, and to see my husband die, it didn't really faze me because I never had an attachment to them. I don't think it was really built up. The baby was kind of like, well, it's a baby. You want to save the baby. Everyone wants to save the baby. So, yeah, I'm not sure. And as I said, I'm only quite early into the game, I think, with these sort of 5 first missions, and it hasn't really gone back to that storyline that it started out at. So, I don't know, it's just sort of a bit disjointed. It's not quite what I was enjoying in Fallout 3, and trying to find your father and things like that. I think they built that up a lot better than in this game, although the setup for the game, the start, is pretty amazing, and it's really nice to see the Fallout universe just before everything goes to shit, basically. Anyway, I've rambled on. I just basically wanted to make a gameplay video or something new, some game content, and I haven't been able to play anything else really since I've had my time off. And I've been trying to sort of sort out the internet and see how it performs. And in most games I get a decent ping, 60 to 80, which is fine. Although Planetside 2 seems to be absolutely mental. It'll go 200, 220. It just seems to be poor all the time, but I don't know whether it's just going through some troubles at the moment on the EU servers. Anyway, this was Fallout 4, and I'm enjoying the game, although I really hope that this sort of settlement fetch quest system isn't the main body of the game, because it's quite repetitive, and to be honest, I don't really give a shit. Anyway, I'm really enjoying the side quests as well, and just generally exploring. The game is very compact. Like there's the actual map doesn't seem that big, but there's lots of sort of 3D-ness to it. Lots of tower blocks and buildings that you can go into, and underground areas. So hopefully there'll be a lot to do. And the big thing we're waiting on is the creation kit for mods, and I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of amazing modifications from the community, and I literally can't wait, to be honest. I'm a mod junkie, so I can't wait to see what they can do with it, and hopefully there'll be some sort of Sky UI for Fallout 4. That's what I hope for anyway. What does everyone else think? Has anyone else been playing the game? I've seen a lot of people playing on Steam, as I've been playing as well, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Anyway, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, everybody, Joshino.